Hello friends, we are in the shul in Regensburg. As you can see, this was exact measurements that you see here is what the shul was under us. Instead of rebuilding the shul, they just kept whatever is under it and they gave us an outline of what it could look. You see, it says Mizrach. This was the Mizrach. In the middle was the Bima. But what's interesting is that from the woodcuts that was made right before its destroyed demise in 1520, we learned that this probably served as the proto-synagogue of the Altnai Shul, meaning the Altnai Shul was an exact replica of what the Shul was, meaning this Shul was built before Altnai Shul, and the Altnai Shul was a replica of it, which makes a lot of sense because the Jews of Regensburg, they were very close with the Jews of Prague, because that's where they dealt. The Jews in Prague would buy the goods of the Slavs, and the Jews of Regensburg would bring it here for further sale. So the Jews of Prague and Regensburg were really one on a parcel. Now, one very interesting person that should be mentioned that lived in the time of Yehuda Chassid was known as Petachia of Regensburg. Petachia of Regensburg, he was a traveler, a contemporary of Benjamin of Tadela. You know, Benjamin, he was also a famous Jewish traveler. The Benu Pesach, he goes from here, actually from Prague, and he goes to visit the yeshivas in Babylonia and Bavel, and also the yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael, to bring back a report. Some say that the reason the Pesachia did that was because the Yehuda Chassid had sent him to go check where the better fertile places for Jews to live without being every couple of years massacred and oppressed. So give an outline of what the Jews look like in other cities. So Ibn Pesachia left. Looks like it took him a couple of years to come back, but he actually did come back. He first in Prague, and then he came here because you could see that when he was asked for certain things, like he had said that when he was in Babylonia, he got a special hamlatza from the Rosh Hashiva, whose name was Reb Shmuel ben Chofni. We would know very little about him if not for the Ben Pesachia, because every contemporary thought is that after the Paigoin passed away, that was the end of the academies in Bovel, which was for 150 years. But it looks like this Shmuel ben Chofni, Reb Shmuel ben Chofni, Agoen, he tried to reignite it in Babylonia and to bring it back to its original glory. And he's the one he's our source for knowing it. It was in the time of the Rambam also. The Rambam lived in Mitzrayim at this time. So why am I saying it? Is because when he did come back, he mentions that he got a special letter from this Shmuel ben Chofni that wherever he comes, the Jewish people should give him entrance to the Mekomis HaKadoshim. And he has a list of a few hundred places of Kvorim of the Tanuim and Amiruim that lived back in Bovel. But he had left it in Bihem, he left it in Prague. That's what's written in the Sibuv. He didn't write it himself. It looks like Rabbi Yehuda Chassid himself also didn't write it, but it was written on the behest of Rabbi Yehuda Chassid, meaning he came here and he was questioned about his travel, and everything was noted down in a sefer called Sibuv Lebeinu Pesachia. Very famous, very interesting book to read. This happened. He was called the Pesachia from Regensburg. He was a brother to the Rabbi Yitzchak HaLevan, the Ri HaLevan, who lived in Prague, but he probably also for a time lived in Regensburg.